news coming in on Indian students wanting to study abroad. Canada seems to be showing resistance. Canada, once the most sought-after destination for Indian students, is now turning them away in record numbers. The rejection rate has now soared to alarming levels. According to new data from Immigration, Refugees and Citizenship Canada, a staggering 74% of Indian study permit applicants were rejected in August 2025. That's nearly 3 out of every 4 students turned down, compared to just 40% globally and only 24% for China. So clearly here, it seems like Canada has a clear demarcation when it comes to India. They're looking at us as a country that is problematic. I'm going to tell you why. In fact, a year ago, in August 2023, India's refusal rate stood at just 32%. Fast forward now to 2025, approvals have plummeted, with only 1,196 of 4,515 Indian applicants being cleared. The total number of applications too has also crashed from nearly 21,000 to barely 4,500. So as much as Canada is resisting, Indians also now holding back from applying in Canada. But the numbers are quite glaring. 74% down. That's how much they've rejected Indian student visas. Couple of reasons. One is Canada has tightened its cap on international student permits. 2, widespread fraud, including fake acceptance letters coming from India, that's triggered this tough vetting process. Internal Canadian documents now, in fact, labels Indian applicants as country of specific challenge, leading to additional scrutiny. The reasons being because of fake applications coming to fore. And while officials deny political bias, the India-Canada diplomatic chill also certainly adding to the strain here. For Indian students and families, this does mark as a turning point. The once certain study, work, stay routine to permanent residency in Canada is now under question. Thousands are being forced to rethink their plans and look beyond Canada. So what's beyond Canada? Well, experts point to a couple of other countries that you could explore. Germany topping the list. New Zealand, France, Singapore, South Korea are all emerging as favorites. In fact, Germany has now overtaken both US and Canada as the top choice for Indian students. According to Upgrad's Transnational Education Report of 24-25, Germany now attracts nearly 32.6% of India's outbound students. While applications to US and Canada have fallen sharply, UAE has also risen. At least 42% of UAE's international students come from India. European nations like Ireland, France are also gaining ground, signaling that the global map of Indian education migration is rapidly being redrawn. Germany seems to be topping the list now, and reasons being that they're great with STEM, and it seems like many universities give admissions free. All right, we take you through our experts. In fact, our guest joining us on the panel here, he's joining us live from Canada itself. Sir Ravi, thanks very much. I'm going to introduce you as, give me a moment there. Yeah, Ravi Lothumala, who's a career counselor and US college admissions expert. Thank you, sir. You've been on the show before as well. You've given us a little sense on why and how Canada and US at this point are not the most favorable destinations for students coming from India. How would you read this 74% rejection rate? Canada used to be the most sought after destination, the most warm place for Indians. That's changed.
So Nabila, thank you so much for inviting me onto the News9 all the time. As you rightly said at the pre-introductory statements, compared to 2023 and then fast forward 2025, there are a lot of changes happening within the school administration, as well as the data, as well as other inputs that the colleges and schools are reviewing it. When it comes to Canada, I would like to state that about 80% of the students who are coming from India are not attending the schools, and they are looking for some part-time jobs, or they are not maintaining their academic standards, or they are not attending the schools. That is the biggest challenge. Now, the second most important things are, as you rightly said, most of the students were coming from either Punjab or Gujarat and less from other states, and they were fabricating these documents that really impacted, and eventually that was percolating down into or going fast forward into the jobs. These are all the things that are impacting. if you look into from 2025 onwards, pretty much when doors are closed for US, Canada, and other countries, then Germany opened up and other European countries opened up. Now, I would like to tell you that as a probably you can say that going forward from 2025 to 2027, right? Fast forward two years future down the line, all these things are going to be stringently or strictly seen by various universities, various data at the same point of time, various employers. All the things will be in deep scrutiny. When you look into it, all that I would like to urge the students is introspects about themselves, that are they coming to US or UK or Canada or any other countries only for getting a degree, or are you looking for something beyond to have a career settlement in your life?
Yeah.
If so, introspect yourself, upskill yourself, and then come to the schools where you gain knowledge, because you are investing so much amount of money in the overseas education system.
Correct.
So when you are spending so much amount of money, they should be called return on investment, called ROI from these
Correct.
schools. So if you're coming here doing for a part-time jobs, I don't know what kind of ROI that they are looking for, other than going away from India and then living a life working in part-time jobs, trying to make the same money what they invested in. You see what I'm saying?
So opportunities are far too less now.
Opportunities in these countries are more, but quality of the students that are coming out for implementing these projects are less. That is the correct word that I would like to state.
But what's worrying here is that Canada looks at India as a country-specific challenge. That's the tag for India, effectively showing that this really brings us disrepute. That many number of fake applications. There's been no filter there, or at least the clear checks have failed. So the disrepute that this has brought to India. Would you want to comment on that? How and probably why Indian students may be looked down on now?
I mean, you rightly put it, Nabila, country-specific challenge.
Yeah.
So Canada, instead of telling them that the documents are fraud, they are saying that country-specific challenge. So what is the word of country-specific challenge? Again, to reiterate, these students are not coming for studies. These students are coming for getting away from India, paying money, and then getting a degree. And then mere degree will not going to give them any kind of a jobs or whatever it is. They have to have knowledge. They have to have school knowledge, connectivity knowledge, classroom knowledge, and then industry interactions and all those things. Those are all the things that are missing in current generation of students. Again, I would like to say that the Gen Z population are not studious enough. About at least 70 to 80% of the students are not studious enough. They have no career choices. According to the recent article that I read on various newspapers, all the career choices are not self-interested. They are being driven by peers, friends, families, cousins, etc., etc., etc. And this dynamic has to be completely changed, at least down the line, Nabil.
And would you agree that Germany is a more favorable destination? I just read out a survey report.
You're absolutely right. Germany and UAE and other European countries, along with Arab countries, are opening up. Again, we have to understand here that to the best of my knowledge, as I have been in this industry for more than 32 years, I would like to say that universities look at two things. One, from business perspective, two, from the outcome perspective. The business perspective is they want to have more number of international students because they pay more amount of fees. Yeah. Of course, in Germany, it is free application, that is free tuition fee, that is different. But they also look at the outcome of the data where these students have profound impact on the industries or the communities.
Yeah, yeah.
Those are becoming challenges in these countries like US, Canada, and other countries. So we have absolutely misused or abused the Canadian system, be it the housing, be it jobs, or be it anything. Even part-time jobs, we have used it.
All right. Thank you very much.